In 1952, Manaslu was just a white shape on a single photograph, unknown, unclimbed, and unforgiving. What followed were years of failed attempts, frozen retreats, and quiet resolve, before the mountain finally allowed two men to stand on its summit.
Hey, glad you're here. Welcome to the Himalayan Journals. Here on this channel, we bring to you real stories from century old field notes. We try to keep it simple and calm here. Think of it as a documented history of the Himalayas from the early 1900s, covering stories of indigenous wisdom, epic expeditions, and groundbreaking science, passed on just as they were recorded. Subscribe, zone out, binge.
After the monsoon of 1952, Manaslu stood almost unknown, a great white mass of 26,658 feet, remembered only from a single photograph taken by Mr. Tillman 2 years earlier. That autumn, the Japanese Alpine Club, sponsored by the Mainichi Press, sent a small reconnaissance party under Dr. K. Imanishi to learn what this mountain would allow. They approached from the Marciandi Valley with 4 Sherpas and 70 porters, led by the Sherpa Sirdar Gyaltsen Mekchen. The western face soon proved impossible, a sheer wall rising nearly 15,000 feet. After a trial ascent of Annapurna 4 for acclimatization, they circled north through the Dudhkola, found the Manaslu Glacier, and followed it to 17,400 feet. There they learned a crucial fact. This glacier route offered the best line to the summit. They returned to Kathmandu in December. In 1953, before the monsoon, a larger expedition followed. 15 climbers and 2 scientists, led by Y. Mehta, left Kathmandu on March 27th and reached base camp at 12,600 feet on April 12th. They worked steadily through the glacier and ice falls, establishing camp step by step until Camp 8 stood on the North Col at 23,300 feet. On May 31st, Kato, Yamada, and Ishizaka, with Sherpa support, pushed to Camp 9 at 24,600 feet. The next day, June 1st, they climbed without oxygen in temperatures of minus 35 degrees Celsius. At about 25,425 feet, still 1,230 feet below the summit, they were forced to turn back. Their strength was finished. The Japanese Alpine Club returned again in 1954, this time led by Y. Hata. They reached Sama village on April 8th, but were stopped by the villagers who believed the mountain had been profaned the previous year. Negotiations failed. The expedition withdrew and attempted Ganesh Himal instead, but found no workable route. On the return journey, they reconnoitered Himal Chuli. Before trying Manaslu again, the Sama dispute had to be settled. In April 1955, Dr. Nishibori and I. Naruse negotiated in Kathmandu and secured permission for another attempt. Later that year, an advance party revisited the route and received assurances from the villagers that the main expedition would be welcomed in 1956. The third Manaslu expedition left Kathmandu on March 11, 1956, led by Yuko Maki. It included experienced climbers such as Toshio Imanishi, Katsuro Ohara, Kichiro Kato, Minoru Higeta, and cameraman Takayoshi Yoda, supported by 20 Sherpas under Sirdar Gyaltsen Norbu. They reached Sama village on March 26th. Once again the villagers objected, but this time the matter was settled smoothly with help from a government representative. Base camp was established at 12,600 feet, and conditions on the glacier were good. The plan was to use the 1953 route, but with fewer camps and better acclimatization. Camp 2 was set on the Nike Col on April 13th, and advanced base camp above the icefall on April 25th. Fine weather followed, rare at such heights. With this in mind, Maki formed 2 summit parties, hoping to take advantage of the conditions. After careful route decisions and days of reconnaissance, Camp 6 was finally established at about 25,600 feet on May 8th. That night, Toshio Imanishi and Gyaltsen Norbu rested there using oxygen and preparing for the final climb. At dawn on May 9th, with the temperature at minus 22 degrees Celsius and the weather calm, they set out at 8 o'clock, each carrying 3 oxygen cylinders. The route led across ice, then snow, and onto a wide snowfield below the summit ridge. Moving slowly and carefully, they crossed crevasses, cut steps, and avoided cornices. At 12:30 p.m., after negotiating a final narrow ridge, they stood on the summit of Manaslu. The ridge was sharp, falling steeply away on the south. Clouds lay far below, with Himalchuli, Ganesh Himal, Annapurna, and Dhaulagiri appearing through the mist. After about an hour, they began their descent. Without difficulty, but with constant care, they returned to Camp 6 at 3:05 p.m. That evening, Imanishi radioed the news. 2 days later, on May 11th, the second summit party also reached the top. Manaslu had finally been climbed twice under clear skies. After years of patience, preparation, and restraint,